Welcome to today's Explainer. We're unpacking a topic today that is absolutely urgent for any IT entrepreneur out there, and that's adopting DevOps. Did you know that high-performing DevOps teams can actually deploy code up to 200 times faster than traditional teams? I mean, that's just staggering. The software industry has gone through this massive, sweeping shift over the last decade. If you're building products or managing teams right now, understanding these DevOps principles, the benefits, and the best practices, it's no longer just a nice to have. It is a fundamental requirement to stay afloat. So let's dive right in. Look at the screen for a second. Is your software development obsolete? It's a pretty harsh question, I know, but it's a totally necessary one. We are dealing with rapid tech changes, constantly shifting market demands, super tight security protocols, and fierce competition from digital-first companies. All of that is making the old-school way of building software a massive liability. If you're still relying on legacy workflows, you're not just falling behind, you are essentially trying to win a Formula One race while hauling a trailer full of dead weight. It simply doesn't work anymore. Because of that, the industry has aggressively moved away from those old-school isolated silos where your teams basically never spoke to each other. We are now living in a world defined by a seamless Agile and DevOps merge. To keep up with this modern paradigm shift, the entire IT sector relies on this powerful combo. Modern web ecosystems are completely ditching those fractured team structures. Instead, they're opting for this integrated approach to maintain the lightning-fast deployment cycles that the market frankly demands today. So here is our transformation blueprint for today. We'll look at 1. The paradigm shift. 2. Why you should adopt DevOps. 3. The 7 core principles. 4. DevOps best practices. And finally 5. The 3-phase transition. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, the paradigm shift. What are we actually talking about here? Well, at its absolute core, DevOps is about bringing people, processes, and tools together. Instead of keeping your developers, the dev, and your operations teams, the ops, in totally separate departments or even completely different buildings, this model merges them. It brings them into a single unified entity that manages the entire application lifecycle from day one to deployment. By unifying these teams, you pave the way for continuous integration and continuous delivery. Think of it kind of like a highly automated assembly line. New code is constantly being tested and pushed directly to your users without ever taking the system offline. It minimizes those frustrating errors, speeds up the whole operation, and keeps your product constantly, consistently evolving. Moving right along to section 2, why adopt DevOps? So what is the actual return on integration here? Why do we care? First off, it gives you way faster responses to market needs. By aligning so closely with customer demands, you deliver updates rapidly and you stay leaps and bounds ahead of your competitors. Second, you get better quality products, released faster. Remember that automated assembly line we just talked about? Well, because of that, errors are caught super early in development. Just imagine finding a critical bug in a sandbox environment where it costs, maybe a few dollars of developer time to fix. Compare that to discovering it after release when it crashes a client's system and costs you thousands. Huge difference, right? And third, it creates a much better work environment, which honestly brings us to an incredibly important human element. Let's talk about that work environment. It stems directly from transparency. When your developers and your ops people share the exact same holistic view of a project, all that classic finger-pointing just stops. The old, well, it works on my machine excuse, totally gone. Friction disappears, workplace morale skyrockets, and you naturally foster a highly productive, healthy workplace culture simply because everyone is finally playing for the exact same team. Okay, let's look at how we build this. Section 3, the 7 core principles. This DevOps mindset isn't magic. It relies on 7 foundational pillars to actually function. It starts with customer focus and complete ownership. Then it relies heavily on systems thinking and continuous improvement. And it's driven by automation, real communication, and collaboration, and a totally relentless focus on results. It's a holistic view, right? It requires shifting your teams from working in those isolated bubbles to actually seeing the bigger picture of the entire business. Let's just zoom in on complete ownership for a second. This is literally about taking a sledgehammer to the brick walls that used to separate developers from operations. The one-team mentality means those historical barriers completely disappear. Your entire DevOps team takes full responsibility for every single stage of product development, and critically, the ultimate quality of the end deliverable. You own it from day one through all the testing, right up until it's operating seamlessly in your customer's hands. Another massive piece of this puzzle is automation. Automation streamlines your workflows and significantly cuts down the time it takes your teams to react to market shifts or squash bugs. And here's the really cool part. By leveraging the right tools and even integrating modern agentic workflows, which, if you don't know, are essentially smart AI agents that autonomously handle repetitive, tedious tasks, you can ship products to customers at an unbelievably fast rate. You are quite literally letting the software do the heavy lifting, so your incredibly valuable human talent can focus entirely on high-level innovation. But ultimately, all 7 of these principles serve one singular goal: results-driven innovation. A true DevOps organization kicks off every single project with the ultimate end goal clearly in mind. Because everyone understands the full production process, they communicate effectively, they work with genuine autonomy, and they build products that solve real-world problems efficiently. Now for the execution. Section 4, DevOps Best Practices. To actually execute this in your own organization, you need a strict playbook. Think of this as your checklist. First, you need active and ongoing participation from your stakeholders. Second, you absolutely must have frequent testing at every single stage of the software development lifecycle, the SDLC. Third, keep your code repositories updated and totally integrated into your daily workflows, making sure you utilize continuous delivery and deployment. And finally, implement AI automated bug monitoring. Having robust, smart monitoring to proactively flag risks before human even notices them, I'm telling you, it's an absolute game changer for maintaining product stability. Which brings us to our final step, Section 5, the 3-phase transition. Transitioning a whole business without completely breaking your current operations requires a highly structured 3-phase approach. It's much like the blueprint used by expert engineering partners like TechCirkle. In Phase 1, the goal is simple: define your business objectives and map out a realistic transformation roadmap right alongside an optimized CI/CD pipeline blueprint. Then, moving into Phase 2, your engineering partner steps into a coaching role. They guide you milestone by milestone, but critically, and this is key, your organization remains completely in the driver's seat. Then, in Phase 3, we have the handover. The focus turns entirely to smoothly onboarding your internal team, training them up so they can manage, maintain, and scale the model completely independently. So, as we wrap up this explainer, the big question you really have to ask yourself is this: are you ready to actually automate your delivery pipeline? Transitioning to a modern DevOps approach is a massive evolution, and it absolutely requires the right engineering strategy and the right partnerships. Take a hard, honest look at your current setup today. Are your teams truly bridging the gap? Or are they still just throwing code over a brick wall to each other and hoping for the best? Are you prepared to break down those silos and safely scale your next project? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I highly encourage you to start plotting your own DevOps transformation right now.